everyone, I thought it's been ages since I did a video. Um, and I did a video yesterday, a quick one of my dogs when it's time to go to bed. Um, so I thought, it might be quite a good idea to do a video on how I train and take care of my dogs with a visual impairment. So I'll just show you them. Play fighting. So basically, I did have a few comments from a few people when I got Molly that were, thought it was a bit silly, me getting a puppy when I've got this visual impairment and that I struggle to walk Teddy as it is. So Teddy has a walk every single day. Someone comes and takes Teddy out for a walk. And he never goes without. He's always had a walk, but I just can't handle Teddy on the lead because Teddy's got issues with other dogs, particularly male dogs or big dogs. And when he sees another dog, he goes mad, and he also pulls on the lead. So I tried to take him out once with my vision impairment, and he came across two dogs and pulled me off the curb. And the lead wrapped around me, I went down, and the person that had the two dogs was then trying to help me get me off the floor, but obviously had his two dogs in his hand, and it was making Ted go even more mad. So I was asking him, please just go, it would be easier if you just go. So he went, and I managed to, turn around and get back home. Anyway, it's put me off, and I've been really scared of taking him out. So for the last few years, well, I guess it is nearly 3 years since I lost my eyesight, he's been going out with someone called John for walks every 7 days a week. And other than that, I can do everything else myself. But the main reason why I got Teddy almost 8 years ago was I wanted to go out and do doggy things and socialise with other people that got dogs, go on nice dog walks and do all those things, which I never got to do with Teddy because of his issues. And so now when I go out and about, I just felt like I could do with a bit more, have a dog to be able to take with me places as well. And also Teddy was becoming less playful, getting older, and whenever my friend's dog came over, he was so excited and so happy, and then depressed when she goes. So I thought it'd be nice for Teddy to have a little play friend, and actually it's worked out really good for both of us. So I got Molly and brought her home, and I kept her on my lap, not on the floor with Teddy for probably almost a full day. Just carried her outside, go to the toilet. Teddy would then go out separately, keeping the two dogs apart, but one on my lap and one beside me, so they get used to smelling each other. I'd encourage Teddy to sniff her and stuff like that. And now they absolutely adore each other. They play fight all the time, as you've just seen. They play with toys, they sleep together, they eat together, they run around the garden having mad 5 minute zoomies, as we call them. And it's made such a difference to me and Teddy. When I take Molly to go with me, because Molly goes everywhere I go, so if I go into town and Molly's obviously coming on the bus to town with me, Teddy doesn't even bat his eyelid because I've done it from day one. So he doesn't even register, oh, Molly's going, not me. He's just he never used to come anyway. So I would just give him a bone. He's happy with that, and the radio on, and then John will come and walk him while I'm out. And me and Molly would just go off and do whatever we're doing. So it's worked out absolutely fine. But what I was really keen to do is, it had to work for me getting a puppy. I'm going to offer the puppy a lovely life and very loved and a nice home. And I needed it to meet my needs as well, because obviously I'm visually impaired. So it had to be well trained. And I decided that from day one, the dog's got to be well trained. And I got the time and the effort to put into it, obviously, because I'm not working anymore. So I scrapped puppy pads. I thought I'm not using them at all, because in my eyes, I know people see things different. In my eyes, you're teaching the dog to go to the toilet indoors, and then you've got to teach them still to go outdoors. So what's the point in confusing the dog? From day one, the dog was going to the toilet in the garden, like whether it liked it or not. And so literally every half an hour, I'd pick the dog up, put it in the garden, wait for it to wee, wouldn't come back in until it's weed, come back in, and that's how it was for the first few days. Even during the night, I'd get up every few hours, take the dog outside in the middle of the night with the torch, let her go, come back in, and we never had accidents. I think since I've had her, she's done 2 wees on the floor, which was my fault, because I'd be cooking or something and not realise that she was ringing the bell to go for a wee. So that's another thing. I need to show you what I've got downstairs. So obviously the dogs need to know how to tell me that they need to go to the toilet, because I can't necessarily tell that they're asking me to go out. So I bought this thing. So it's a long bell that hangs on the back door. So Molly, Teddy hasn't quite got it yet, he just relies on Molly to do it. Molly will ring that every single time she needs to go to the toilet. She's never not done it, like, since I've got it. She's so clever. I thought that she had already been trained on it because she knew exactly what to do, but I asked the person that I got her from and they said no, never. So that wonders, wherever I am, she'll ring it, and if I don't hear it or I take too long to get it, then she rings it louder. Hang on, I'll just let Teddy out. So that's been really useful. Also, I got these stairs here in the lounge and one in the kitchen. I could train them to wait. So while I'm at the front, if the doorbell goes or someone comes in, I can put them behind the stair gate and tell them to wait, and then they lie down and obviously wait until I've greeted someone in. Teddy's not so good, but Molly, you know, she's really good. Come on then. And now with Molly, I don't even need the stair gate. So if I tell her to lie down and wait, what I would do is I'd train her up to do that. I'd put a treat, I'd hold a treat, close the gate, tell her to wait so she can't get through. And then I would say, come on then, open the gate, drop the treat, and she'd have it. She's very food orientated, so it's quite good. I can always get her to do anything for a treat. Sorry, one dog's in, the other one's out. Also, from day one, I wanted her to be able to get used to everyone and everything. So I took her out on the lead, got her to meet different dogs. I'd ask them, is your dog okay with puppies? And they would say, yeah, and I'd introduce her to every size dog going. Also, I took her on the bus everywhere I go. And she's really good. Like, she's so used to the bus now, and everybody knows her on the bus. So also in the cafe, I wanted to be able to get up and order a drink or go to the toilet without having to worry about Molly if I was on my own. So what I got is a little blanket, a tiny little thin blanket that I put in my handbag. And so when I go there, as soon as I get into the cafe, I put the blanket under the table and tell her to lie down on it. And then I would walk over to order the food, tell her to wait, and get eye contact, tell her to wait. And then I'd go off and order the food. And then when I came back, she would still be lying there and I'd give her her treats. And now, if I'm in the cafe on my own, I can go off to the toilet, I can go and order my food and everything, and she won't move from under the table. And she's only just 4 months, so I think that's really, really good. I got lucky with her. She's a particularly good dog. You, Molly. Yeah, you're a good girl. And there's your brother Teddy. Yeah, he's smiling. So I can take her anywhere with me in town. My hardest thing with her was she didn't like to walk. So she just couldn't get used to the lead and the harness. So she was fine on the bus, she was fine and lying down in the cafe and stuff, but actually walking on the lead, I was dragging her down the town. So that was a bit of a difficult thing. So what I had to do with that was I would go out with John and Teddy, you know, on their dog walks. He would hold Teddy and I would have Molly, and I would hold a treat in my hand for her to follow at my heel. So we'd do it every single day, because it's, if you're training them to do something, you can't just teach them and then not do it for a few days, and it has to be consistent. So we would do that. Crate training. So Teddy never liked the crate, and but Molly loves hers because I did it the right way. With Teddy, I didn't really know what I was doing. So this is Molly. So she's just got like a little blanket in the bottom, toy, and I cover it with the blanket because it's made her feel more secure. But I brought the crate up with me every night and put it by my bedside while she was toilet training, so that she could wake me up if she needed to go to the toilet, and she wouldn't sleep. You know, I think she was too exposed. And then when I heard that it was good to put the blanket over the top, it makes them feel like it's a little den and it's safe. Like, I never had a problem after that. Within a few days, she was completely used to it, and then she was completely toilet trained. So now she sleeps in the bed with me and Teddy, which is what I originally wanted. You know, I know people say, oh, it's really bad to sleep in bed with dogs, but I like them sleeping in my bed. I love it. So I have one either side, and we have the duvet pulled up. I've got the head on the pillows, and you know, we just absolutely love all sharing the bed. So like, I don't see that as a lack of training. Oh, another good thing, when I first brought her home, she was crying in the crate, I got this sheep toy at the back, and basically it's got a little heart. So the heart, so it's like, and you heat the little warm bag in the microwave, so it's supposed to make it feel like another puppy, like this all the litter. To be honest with you, she never missed her mum or a litter. She didn't cry when I brought her back, nothing. She was already 11 weeks, and I think the mum had had enough of her by that point, because they were still trying to drink off her, and she'd had enough of it. So I think, to be honest, they'd probably been separated. And she was used to not being needy of other dogs. Plus, it was only 2 puppies left, so all the rest are gone. And what else? We do, yeah. So we can do sit, wait, paw, stay, heel, and. Sorry, just trying to. It's not as easy to get up off the floor nowadays. Yeah, we did a lot of practicing in the garden as well. So drop it. So I chuck the ball, get to drop it, and I would do the same with treats. So I'd pretend to drop a treat on the floor, and I'd tell her to leave that treat, and then I would give her a different treat, and then she's not allowed to take the treat that's on the floor until I've just like decided she can have it, because I thought, I'm always dropping stuff. I mean, needles, you know, my insulin, my injections for my insulin, and sometimes even medication. And then she would obviously, her eyes are working eyes, so she would find the medication far quicker than I would, and I was terrified that she would get hold of it. She got hold of a needle once, but luckily it had the plastic cap on. And that really scared me. So for her to be able to leave stuff when I tell her, that's been really handy, because there's been a couple of times I have dropped things on the floor that I don't want her to have, and I tell her to leave it and she leaves it. What else? Oh, she's helped me to become really, really sociable as well. Like, not really, really sociable, but much more than I was, because I have to get out my house every day, whether I like it or not, to take her out, even if it's just around Carhampton. But when I go to town, I always feel conscious walking with my cane. I feel like I stand out like a sore thumb. but everybody's so fascinated with Molly because she's so cute that they give all her the attention. So I feel like that's a nice distraction. So I'm pretty sure that Molly is going to be quite big. So if you look at Miles compared to Ted's, they're the same size at the moment, apart from she's a little bit like slimmer because Teddy's gained a bit of a middle recently since stealing her puppy food. But she is the same length and the same height already, and she's got very big feet, so I have a feeling she's going to be quite a big cockapoo, which I like because there's less chance of falling over her. I'm training her not to trip me up. But Teddy, I had to teach a bad way. He got stepped on and tripped over constantly because my eyes, obviously, I don't see them. And so with Molly, she still hasn't quite learnt. She's been stepped on and tripped over a couple of times recently. But at bedtime, as you saw in my video, when I go upstairs, I just shout on the bed. And then they sprint up the stairs full speed, jump on the bed, and they stay waiting on the bed for me. I can get up the stairs and then give them a treat to reward them, and they've stayed out of my way. So that's been really helpful. Teddy's done that for like the last 2.5 years. So she just kind of copied him. So it was easy for me to train her that. To start with, she would just leg it up after Teddy, and she'd be on the bedroom floor while Teddy's on the bed. But the last sort of week, she started jumping on the bed as well. And it's much easier because it means I can go in the room and I know exactly where the two of them are. And they're quite good at like keeping out of my way. Molly not so much, but Teddy's very good at it. Like, he doesn't get under my feet anymore. So grooming, obviously with a cockapoo, the bit I didn't think about is the grooming side of things. They're hyperallergenic like Teddy, but their fur grows because of the poodle quite fast, and they can mat. So in order to not have to deal with or miss mats, I make sure I brush her every day and get her used to that from day one, because otherwise, you know, you can get dogs that really don't like it and you end up fighting them. I think if you want to do anything with your puppy, you've got to do it from day one, so it's just something that is normal for them. So she would just sit there and let me groom her, brush her. So I just brush her. I also have her in for a puppy cut in 2 days' time, which is, you know, it's not like a full cut. It's just like the face and the bottom and their ears cleaned and stuff like that. So that will be good. So it's just important to keep on top of, you know, puppies, and she wears a raincoat when it's raining because her fur is very thick, so she takes a very long time to dry. If anybody knows of somewhere that sells those bathrobes for dogs, you know, the towels, so it's got the Velcro and you stick it on until they dry and it absorbs the wetness, because she takes so long to dry. I bathed both of them the other day, and Teddy was probably dry within the hour, completely bone dry, and she's still soaking, like shivering, and I've wrapped her in a blanket and a towel, and I'm trying my hardest to dry her. But yeah, I've looked into getting one of those Hotter Dog fleeces to wear if it's raining, because they're waterproof, so that will just help, you know, taking her to the beach and stuff. And me and Molly is going to join, we've been going to, well, on the 4th, we've got a nice dog walk with a group of people. So that'll be nice. See her lying on the floor. She prefers to lie on the floor, whereas Teddy prefers to go on the furniture. She's not really a lap dog either, whereas Teddy loves to... Quite good, she's going to be quite big. She likes to lie her head on me, but she doesn't like to lie on me. Same at night time, like most of the time she sleeps on the bed, but at the bottom of the bed, and then sometimes at the top of her head on the pillow, but that's how we normally start. But by the morning, she's normally on the floor. Whereas Teddy, he'll be right under the duvet. So, yeah. What else? I think that's everything, really. Just, I just put in loads and loads of time at the start, just to adapt her to be the easiest possible dog, regarding my sight loss. So I don't need her like a guide dog. I don't need her to navigate, you know, to walk me to places and look for hazards and stuff, because I use my cane, and she's completely used to the cane. I got her completely used to it. I got her to sniff it. I was walking along swinging it. I like touched her with it a few times so it didn't startle her. This is my cane. It's obviously got the ball on the end, and she loves the ball cane. And she's just used to me doing it, and she's used to walk it, so she has to walk on my left side because I hold the cane with my right hand. So we're still working on that. She sits at the curbs to cross the roads. She normally does stick to my left side unless there's something very interesting on my right, and she'll try and cut across, but then I'll stop dead, tell her to go back to my left, and then start walking again. The bit I'm most nervous about is off-lead training, so I want her to be able to go off the lead so she can have a nice run around on like the beach and walks and stuff. But obviously with my vision impairment, she'll have to be really good at recall to come back to me. So I brought her a little whistle that I've been teaching her, blowing the whistle in the garden to call her back, just practicing in safe places like that. And when I buy her fleece, you know, the Hotter Dog fleece, waterproof fleece, I'm going to get it in an luminous yellow or a luminous orange or very bright red, because these are colours that I can pick out quite well. So hopefully I've got more of a chance of finding her if I see like a yellow splodge running across the beach or something. So yeah, that would help. I think that's everything really. I'm going to do some little clips, you know, or when they're doing stuff, like put them up as and when. Yeah, that's it. So bye, Molly. Good girl. And Teddy, good boy, Ted. Should we get you both a treat? Yep, and Teddy knows how to open the treat cupboard on his own. Right, sit, Molly. Sit, Teddy. Thanks for watching. Bye.